This is one-on-one session with the ForumIAS founder and director Ayush Sinha. In this session, students are asked questions to test their preparedness for the personality test. One-on-one sessions are not mock panel sessions.
May I come in, sir?
Please come in.
Good afternoon, sir.
Manoj, have a seat. How are you, Manoj?
Sir, I am good.
Shall we begin by introducing yourself to me?
Sir, my name is Manoj Kumar. I was born in Singrauli, Madhya Pradesh, where I did my initial schooling. Thereafter, I joined IIT Delhi in Chemical Engineering Department. Thereafter, I have worked for 2 years in Ken Energy India Limited, where I got to work in Rajasthan as well as in Gurugram. Thereafter, I have done post-graduation in management from IIM Calcutta, and I have done a brief stint in Boston Consulting Group, and now I have joined DANIPS, but I have taken EOL for appearing for this year.
Tell me, what was the work culture in Boston Consultancy Groups versus the current service that you are in?
Sir, while I have still not joined to know the work culture that well from the inside, but I feel that there would be certain differences. For example, Boston Consulting Group was quite a flat organization in terms of approachability and the way they solved problems. On the other hand, police service would be a much more hierarchical approach where chain of commands would be very important. Discipline would be very important. On the other hand, in Boston Consulting Group, a lot of creativity and scope for suggesting new ideas, etc. would be there. I think that is also being promoted in police services these days as well.
In Boston Consultancy Group, what was your role?
Sir, I was part of the management consulting team, and as a team we used to help different clients solve their management problem, high level management problem. So for example, in one of the cases we had to work with a private sector bank to increase their business. My module was in their small loans division that catered to the MSME sector.
What was the subprime crisis?
Sir, the 2008 subprime crisis was the crisis in the financial sector where because of the reckless lending in the subprime loans, there was a housing bubble and which burst.
What is this difference between prime and subprime?
Sir, any loan, the prime versus subprime is decided on the credit worthiness. So there are loans where the debtor has the credit worthiness very high, which is called prime loans. And however, there are certain segments where the credit worthiness is low. That is the chance of repayment would be low, and that is called a subprime loan.
What is soft power, Manoj?
Sir, for any country, soft power is a influence that a country has, not based on its military or economic power, but based on its culture, its softer aspects like cinema, its value system, its history, its civilizational values. For example, for India, Gandhi and his value is a very important soft power.
Tell me 3 or 4 elements of India's soft power.
Sir, firstly, our civilizational values of peace, harmony, and what Gandhiji taught, that India has such values. Secondly, sir, our culture, for example, yoga has become a new soft power. Thirdly, sir, cinema, especially we see that the song Natu Natu from RRR is being performed across the globe. So that is another. And fourth, I think, would be, sir, our traditional knowledge like Ayurveda, etc. has grown in significance.
And what is America's biggest soft power according to you?
Sir, I think its soft power derives from its hard power, but I think the being at the pinnacle of the center of excellence in every field, especially technology and
people don't buy that. World leaders, when they look up to America, what do they envy?
Sir, being the largest economy in the world and having the largest military, sir.
I'll give you a hint.
Sir.
Past few years, past decade, one of the reasons why faith in American leadership eroded was because in US also things happen that generally happen in third world countries.
Sir.
What does America export to the world? Forget Hollywood. What does it really export to the world?
Sir, democracy.
What is inclusive growth?
Sir, inclusive growth would be a growth, economic growth, which involves all sections of the society and all sectors of the society. So if the GDP increases, the wealth of the bottom of the pyramid also increases.
Has this model worked in our country? The trickle-down approach?
Sir, the initial trickle-down approach, which focused only on expanding the GDP, did not work and inequality increased. But as social security schemes, etc., have been launched over the last 2-3 decades, I think, sir, we are moving towards a more inclusive economy, sir. But still, sir, there are many challenges to go ahead.
Should we go for uniform civil code?
Uniform civil code currently requires a lot of deliberation and debates. While it seems desirable to have a uniform personal laws for every religion, however, sir, there still needs to be debate because there are
Why there needs to be debate? We are 7 decades of independence,
sir,
already. We are not living in an age where some Raja Ram Mohan Roy or Ishwar Vidyasagar come. There are no social reformers in our society. Is there not a constitutional mandate for uniform civil code? A, and B, is not the state entrusted with a reformist role in our constitution? Tell me.
Yes, sir. Article 44 directs the state to implement uniform civil code. But, sir, it has to be in a non-disruptive way. For example, state has the mandate to reform and it is reforming. For example, many gender unjust laws are being gradually removed from the personal laws. Case in point being the recent Triple Talaq Act. So I think, sir, there has to be a gradual approach because, sir, we have seen that social changes by a legal method generally do not work. They need a long time working groundwork.
India wants to be a part of the United Nations Security Council. What is India's strongest argument for it?
Sir, we are the 5th largest economy and largest population, most populous country in the world. We have a history of upholding democracy and performing and acting democracy. And I think, sir, we have taken strong and value-based stance on issues of shown a nature of being a responsible power in the world, sir.
What is hydrogen economy? I hear this word every day. What is hydrogen economy?
Sir, hydrogen economy is all the sectors that are dependent or that are connected to the hydrogen molecule. So, for example, many industries have hydrogen as input, being iron and steel, petroleum refining, and now fuel cell electric vehicles are also dependent on hydrogen. So right now there is a move towards greening that hydrogen. Currently we produce it through fossil fuel, but we want to reduce its environmental impact.
Do we produce hydrogen through fossil fuels?
Yes, sir. Sir, through gasification process, natural gas is used to produce hydrogen.
I can remember of an event around 100 years back. So what happened is a balloon full of hydrogen. It was expected that that is the future of aviation. It caught fire and people died. Can you tell me what incident am I talking about?
I'm sorry, sir, I'm not.
I'll give you a hint.
Sir.
With the same name, today there is a firm,
sir,
which has indicted a major Indian corporate house for malpractices.
Sir, Hindenburg. I don't know, sir.
That is correct. That is correct. The Hindenburg incident and now the Hindenburg
report.
Tell me, Manoj, with respect to the audit, what red flags have been raised by the Hindenburg?
Sir, it was raised that the audit has not been done properly and standards have not been followed, especially because most of the auditors were local.
That is very subjective. Yes, with respect to the choice of auditor, what is the research?
Sir, it has been alleged that there was a conflict of interest between the auditors and the Adani Group, and the choice of auditor was such that they will give a favorable report to the.
What was the choice of which? Was it Ernst & Young, EY? Which auditor was hired for doing the work of the Adanis?
Sir, I think as far as I know, no big 4, big 5 firms were hired, but the local auditors were hired. But I'm not sure about this, sir.
Manoj, you jumped through many companies. Now you're in DANIPS and you're still not happy.
Sir.
Why do you want to join civil services?
Sir, the charm of civil service was kind of a childhood dream, but I took a conscious decision when I was in BCG, and I was thinking about my long-term career. And I think that civil services, with its responsibility to do take decisions early on in the career, having both strategy role as well as field implementation, will help me realize my dream of a happy and satisfying career.
What is Singrauli famous for?
Sir, Singrauli is famous for coal mines and thermal power plants.
You're a chemical engineer. Tell me 4 major events that have happened in our country with respect to chemical accidents and what chemicals have been involved.
Sir, the most important is the Bhopal gas tragedy, where methyl isocyanate was released to the atmosphere. Second is the Bombay North High platform got fired, I think in 2005. Then there is IOCL tank farm fire, Jaipur fire, which is famously called. And fourth one, sir, there was a recent during the after the COVID lockdown when there was a ramp up. I think, sir, LG plant there was a polymer leak.
Was it styrene or something?
Yes, sir, styrene.
You're a chemical engineer. Let's say a chemical burn victim comes to you. How will you deal with him or her?
Sir, the first immediate first aid which anyone tells us is to dilute the chemical with water. However, sir, we have to see whether the water has some impact with the chemical or reaction with the chemical. So firstly, we can have a patch test for a small area of the burn, and then if there is no reaction, we can purge out the liquid through chemical through water.
Do you like budget traveling? Tell me, what are some places that you have visited recently?
Sir, recently I visited Shillong in Meghalaya, and before that Sanchi, Khajuraho and Orcha in...
What do you have in Sanchi?
Sanchi stupa is there, sir.
Why did they make the stupas? Who made these stupas?
Sir, the Buddhist people made the stupas. Sanchi stupa was patronized by King Ashoka. The purpose was to...
it's a huge dome, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Can we go inside the dome?
No, sir. It is a burial mound, sir. So where the dead remains of monks, Buddhist monks are kept. And around the stupa, there is a whole ritual, not rituals, but worship and other kind of practices happen, religious practices happen, sir.
You are in DANIPS.
Sir.
It is sometimes said that Delhi has become the rape capital of the country. Why is it said so?
Sir, it is said so because there is a lot of reporting of rapes in Delhi, and which is not false, but there is other underlying causes as well. For example, in Delhi, which is an urban area, reporting is quite high, but in rural areas that is not there. And secondly, sir, Delhi having a large amount of floating population and a lot of anonymity and a lot of unlit spaces, these are some underlying reasons because of which rape as a crime persists in Delhi, in addition to the general reasons like patriarchy and discrimination of women.
Is it right to give it the title of the rape capital of the country?
Sir, in my opinion, we should not label Delhi as the rape capital because it does not help. It does not help in reducing the rapes in the country. However, on the other hand, we should have constructive debates about how small and systematic changes can...
As a police officer, what steps do you think, 3 steps you would like to take to improve women's safety in your area?
Sir, firstly, we have to reduce the unlit spaces in the area. Secondly, sir, we need to implement the beat policing and patrolling very effectively in the region. And thirdly, we have to have a very community friendly approach so that women are able and are willing to come out and report to the police. So a community policing approach would be required, sir.
All right, Manoj, your interview is over.
Thank you, sir.